What is going on, guys? Welcome to the Boover Crew. Today we are doing some pre-season stuff, I guess you could say. I have a couple things I want to do today. First one on the list is we're gonna move this camera that I have. So there's this camera on the tree over here. If you watched the last video I was checking cameras, but there's this camera right over here on this tree. Super nice buck on camera. The problem was every time this buck would walk, he would walk right along the cornfield here, and the camera wouldn't pick him up until he was almost out of frame. So I got like 12 videos of the butt end of this deer, and I wasn't sure what deer this was, but I could tell you it was a big deer because it was a big body. Eventually I was able to get one video before he completely stepped out of frame, and turns out he's a really nice buck. Now the super cool thing is this deer comes through this spot right here every single morning between 12 a.m. and 3 a.m. every single morning, like clockwork. This deer is the most regular deer I have ever seen and ever had on camera. So my plan is I'm gonna take this camera right here, I'm gonna actually put it over by that tree, by the gator over there. I brought down a metal fence stake with me. And I do this sometimes. I'm gonna pound the stake into this tree here and kind of silhouette it. But I put these trail cameras on these fence stakes. I'm gonna have the camera there and I'm gonna have it pointing up this way so it gets a good view up here. And hopefully when this deer comes through, instead of him walking by the camera like this, it's gonna be coming straight on to the camera. Now, the second thing is right here by this tree, this big walnut tree, there was like 3 or 4 scrapes here last year. Right here there was one, about right here was another one, and there was like one right there as well. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna freshen up these scrapes. I wanna try to find a vine to hang from it for a licking branch. So we're gonna freshen up a scrape here, one of these old scrapes. We're gonna find a vine, we're gonna hang it right here. We're gonna get that camera looking over this scrape. Hopefully from now until through deer season, we have a lot of activity right here. And definitely the main goal of this right now is to get a better picture of this buck that's coming through here. His pattern will probably change by hunting season. Hunting season is about a month and a half away, early season. I'm excited for early season. I have a tree stand right over here and I'm probably gonna hunt some mornings. I don't know how much his pattern will change. If you guys have any ideas how deer patterns change, let me know. But I'm hoping that maybe if I hunt some mornings, maybe he'll come through just at first light and I'll get a good look at him. The tree stand is right in that tree. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, right there. If you stand up, you can shoot right through that gap to over here. So maybe we'll get a shot from there. I want to kind of move that tree stand a little bit because it's a little crooked. So I got a vine here. I think it's the perfect length. We will continue to use this vine probably year in and year out. Over time, as buck come up to this vine, is they will rub their forehead glands. I don't know what it's called, but they will rub their forehead on it. And their forehead has these glands and this scent is put on it. And so every year, if you use this branch, like more and more scent accumulates on it. So they'll become more and more effective. At least that's the hope. And you're supposed to hang it with a rope. I don't have a rope. All I have is zip ties. So I'm gonna attempt to make a, wow, okay. I'm going to attempt to make a thing out of zip ties, like a rope of some sort. This might just work. I think I want to hang it right there. I want to put it over like an existing scrape. Maybe if I trim back this bush. Okay, I'm back. Trim back all the bushes that were here that were hanging out. And now I can hang the licking branch and they'll just hit that. Originally all these branches were sticking out, and if I would put the licking branch here, they wouldn't even see it. And they would like nibble on these shrubs. So I'm gonna get this thing hung here, down here, right around where they can lift up their head and rub their forehead on it. The deer's walking through here. Right now I am at head height for me, which should be around the right height if a deer lifts up his head and rubs his forehead on it. So I think that will work. If you guys have any other suggestions, if you think it's too high, too low, if I'm doing something wrong, leave a comment down below. It's my first time ever doing this. I've just heard that hanging a vine from a tree is the most effective way to do a mock scrape. So I just worked up some ground. Hopefully they'll be attracted to it. It's right below the licking branch. They come in and kind of just hit their head against that, and I'm hopeful for this. So hiking back to this tree stand way in the back corner and camera. This is the farthest tree stand we have. Well, no. Let me rephrase that. This is the like trickiest tree stand we have to get to, I'd say. We have to cross the big creek here and hike back this trail in this thick brush. We have 4 tree stands. The 2 of them we hung last year. I bought 2 hang-on stands and hung them. This one back here I'm gonna keep here, but the other one that is up this draw, I'm not sure what I want to do with. I hunted it opening day last year. Wow, the bugs back here are ridiculous. I hunted it opening day last year and I saw like 5 doe. And they were about 35-40 yards from me, but I didn't see a ton of other animals or have that much action there. So I don't know if I want to keep it there or if I want to move it. We'll see. I'll have to think on that one a little. This camera here, I normally get pretty good pictures, but one thing I've noticed is I do get more deer traveling through here when we actually use this 4-wheeler trail. As you can tell, there is not much riding going on back here, and so the trail has overgrown and we don't get that many pictures anymore. I got one little half rack buck when I checked the camera yesterday, and that was after a month the camera being out. Sorry, these bugs are ridiculous. So I'm going to mow a trail through here and up there and back that way just to try to get some more deer movement. So I mowed a quick path all the way from the camera down to the creek. I'm gonna go back on it again and kind of sure it up. But there's a very light, but definitely a deer trail here that comes all the way back to this creek, and I was just following it, and I'm mowing 1 weed eater string wide. It's about 1 foot wide, and it's just to make a very clear path for the deer to travel, because I believe, I'm not an expert, but I believe that deer like to take the road most traveled, the path of least resistance. So I'm gonna go back on it one more time, sure it up. It's some thick brush back through there, but I think this is gonna be good for the deer. I think they're definitely gonna wanna rather travel that path than through 6-foot tall brush. Well, I ran out of weed eater string. It's a problem, but not too much of a problem because I was able to get most of the trail mowed. I just wanted to make one pass back because just to really make it a very visible trail, but it is pretty visible now, which is better. So, oh well. But I'll probably come back at a later date and mow it again, because I also need to sure up some stuff around that tree stand there. There's a bunch of brush and shrubs growing over it, and it's need to make a nice easy path into that stand so we can walk in quietly without spooking deer. But that is going to do it for today. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. If you want to follow along to see more, hit that subscribe button, turn your post notifications on. Hope to see you there in the next video. Thank you guys for watching. See you in the next one.